It's Sunday, April 29th, 2018. So, yeah, we're almost done with April here, 4 months in. So, it's Sunday, which means it's time for Sunday Smorgasbord. So, prepare for a feast for the mind. Okay, so it's more like a little tiny snack. It's like one of those little amoosh boosh things. It's a little bite. It's not really going to be a feast. You're still going to be hungry for knowledge later, I guarantee it. So first we're going to start off with the channel's health. We're starting our 15th week, but we finished our 14th straight week of doing this. We have a total of 887 views. We've done a total of 131 videos. We had 104 views this week on 9 videos. It was a very NFL draft heavy week. I understand that. It's like any of my subscribers that came here and go, "Oh my God, all he does is sports now." No, don't do. No. It's just the NFL draft is a big deal for me. I don't know why, but I really love the NFL draft, so I'm into it big time. So next week will be a lot more. I mean, we'll still do Van Rantet on sports on Monday, but it won't be so draft eccentric. And we have still 15 subscribers. We haven't lost any of them, thankfully. Um, so I just kind of wanted to answer some random questions that I kind of created myself. I don't have a big enough. Subscriber base to give me questions, and I usually answer their questions in the comments if they ask a question. I try to answer your questions. I I don't know if I'm getting every comment that comes through, but anytime I see one of those little alerts that shows that a comment has went in, I try to answer it as soon as I can. I don't want to ignore anybody. So if I've never answered a comment of yours or something along those lines, I do apologize. I basically go off the stuff that I get the alerts for. So I'm not sure how YouTube works. I'm really not on that. It's like, but sometimes it seems like videos that have a comment, then I try to go in and see the comments and there's not a comment there. So I don't know. It's weird. I am trying to keep track of all this stuff. So my apologies to anybody that if I've never answered a comment of yours. Um, so with all that being said, let's move in. So let's start. Let's start with something. What what will I miss about physical media in video games? Let's start with that one. What will I miss about physical media? Now you got to remember, I started. Well, you got to remember. You probably don't know, but what you got to realize is I started my video gaming back in about '79, which means I started with the Atari 2600. That was my first gaming. My parents bought it for the family. My sister played it. I played it. My parents played it. My parents used to play a ton of Atari. My parents at the time were in their early to mid 20s when they bought this thing, so they were still young themselves, or 30s, 70s. No, they were in their early to mid 20s, I think. Yeah, early to mid 20s. Because I was 4 years old in '79 when they got the system, so they were in their early to mid 20s when we got the system. So they were young themselves and thought video gaming was neat. So I mean, I've played the Atari 2600. I've played the NES. I went through the Genesis and Super Nintendo and um, and on up through the ranks. I've played most of them. I've owned most of them. I've never owned a GameCube, never wanted to, but I bought 2 GameCubes for other people because they were cheap. They were only $100, brand new. So I bought them as gifts for other people who just needed a new gaming system. But I would never buy one for myself. Never. Never wanted a GameCube, and I still don't to this day. But I've owned an NES. I still have my NES. I've owned a Super NES, got rid of that. I've had the PlayStation. I still have my Saturn. I still, I had an Xbox 360. I had a PS3. I got rid of that. I did not own a Wii. I did not own a Wii U. My parents had a Wii. But physical media is dying. Now, when Microsoft announced the Xbox One, they said, well, we're going to get rid of physical media and go to digital. Everybody lost their crap. Well, not everybody. Well, basically, what Sony did was, or what Microsoft did was maybe overreact a little bit. The fact of the matter is, digital media is going away, but not. It will never go away fully. I think any game system that still comes out to this day has to have some kind of a physical media port. It will always have to have some kind of a Blu-ray drive or something so that we can still play the old stuff that we still have to use it. You know, at least for people that still have old Blu-rays and things of that nature. If you want to be a total media center, you've still got to have a media player. So it's not going away. There are always people that will still want physical media. So while someday I think they're going to start making these things in more limited numbers and you're going to have to special order them, they're not just going to be sitting in stores anymore, except for maybe specialty stores. Maybe GameStop will have one store in major cities. But at some point, physical media is going to go away to a great degree. 95% of what will be bought will be digital. And for me, I love it. I love digital media now. I used to be a big physical media guy going, don't you dare take away my physical media. I will not lose my physical media because I love the covers and the packaging and all that. And opening up a game was always fun. And then it was so much easier just to pre-order a game. It would download a week or two in advance, the bulk of it. You would have to do an update. By the time the update was done, you come back, you're playing your game. You don't have to wait and stand in line at a midnight showing. You don't have to wait. Heck, my Forza games that I love so much, I can play them at 10 o'clock the previous day to their release because they have to be out at a certain time for the UK. So I love it, and I don't have to go pick up the game. It's sitting there waiting for me. And I get it. People say, well, someday the servers will go down, or you won't have that system, or you won't be able to play it. I have my Atari 2600. I don't play it. I have a bunch of games. Don't play them. I have a Sega Genesis. I don't play it. I have a Sony PlayStation. I have a PlayStation 2. I don't play them. Once you get to a certain part, you get into the new stuff, you very rarely go back and play the old stuff anyway. It's very rare. And a lot of these games now get re-released and remastered and re-updated so that you can play them on newer consoles. So they look a little sharper, look a little cleaner. You'll get video game collections. Those happen all the time. So it's not like you won't get to... Now, some of the harder to find games, maybe we won't get to experience those, but I'm not going to miss that much about physical media. The only thing I'll really miss about physical media, I used to love strategy guides. I have so many strategy guides, and they are so cool. I love the pictures and everything like that are in them. And they're so big and thick, and they were fun to always look through and thumb through. I'll miss that. But that's it. Other than that, I love digital media. But I can see physical will always stay because there will always be people who want the physical. And that's great. I think that there should be some people out there that do preserve it and keep the physical media alive. So I'm happy to have some physical media for the people that want it. And it will stay. There will always be physical media. That's pretty much going to be a given. It's like until my generation goes away and passes on, I think physical media is here for a long, long time. It's just not in the numbers that we're used to. We'll go to the... Will I ever collect for any game system? Okay, so I don't miss physical media, but will I ever collect for any video game system? I don't really want to collect for the Atari. I don't want to collect for the NES. I like the systems. I just don't really want to collect their entire library. Well, the PlayStation 2. I might collect for the PlayStation 2 if I was ever... I'd have to have a lot of disposable income. And I might collect for the PS2. Now, I realize that might be the biggest game library out there of any of the video game libraries. But the PS2 is still my favorite video game system. I love the PS2. I thought there were so many great games, and I had so much fun with it. But if I was ever going to collect for a system, it'd be the PlayStation 2. And I should be doing that right now, because right now this is when the games are going to be at their cheapest. Because in about 10 years... those games are probably going to go up in price because the people that played it when they were kids and now have disposable income as adults, they're going to start zapping it all up. And what topics do I consider off limits on this channel? Now, I try to keep this channel lighthearted. I try not to cuss, so as many people can enjoy it as possible, and I stay away from the hard-hitting stuff. I don't like to do the real controversial stuff. Now, does this make this more of a fluff channel? Probably. But I'm good with that. I want a place where you can go and just enjoy the channel and enjoy the content and not have to worry about some heavy topic that's going to, ruin your day or piss you off or. I want the channel to stay light and more fun than that. So I stay away from the super controversial topics. Not that I don't have an opinion. I just feel like everybody doesn't need, I don't need my opinion out there for everybody to hear. And I don't need to bring anybody down if they don't want to watch it. It's like if you if you come to this channel for something lighthearted and fun and silly and stupid, I don't want you to come here and go, oh, that's just like depressing talking about that. So I do avoid those things. The other topics, abortion, religion, and politics. I will never cover that kind of stuff on this. I am, unless it somehow seeps into sports and I really, really, really get a hankering to talk about it in my sports stuff, maybe. But it is definitely stuff that will not be on this channel in any kind of a major fashion. They are just topics that are way too polarizing, and they're so touchy. You just leave them alone. If you want to have a lighthearted channel, you got to stay away from those. So those are things I consider off limits for my channel. I don't want to talk about them. I want the channel to stay more lighthearted. And if people consider it someday a fluff channel because of that, that's fine. I just want people to enjoy their time here. I don't want them to be angry or pissed off or mad or anything like that. And, that's not the goal that I'm going for. I'm not looking to make people angry here. I make people angry every day with what I do at work. I don't want to make the rest of the world mad. So, are there any topics that you would like me to cover on this channel that maybe, I've covered a little bit about movies and anime, some of the other stuff I kind of like, but I talk about what I want to talk about on this channel right now, and I stay away from the stuff I want to stay away from. So, that's pretty much it for this one. So with all that being said, to the troops, past, present, and future, thanks for the freedom.